Hello class, this will be your first demo for Art Foundations 1, and what we're going to do today are some cave drawings. And what you need for this project are, first of all, you need some Conte crayons of various colors. Black is important to have, sanguine, which is red. This is kind of a reddish brown color, and brown or white. If you don't have all of those colors, that's fine, but you'll at least want black and red and possibly white. So that's what you need in your Conte crayons. You might need an eraser. I have this on your supply list. This is a kneaded eraser in case you want to fix something. You'll need a pair of scissors and a paper bag. And aside from that, I have some references printed out. I just have some photos of some different cave drawings that I can refer to as reference. So the first thing that we're going to do is take this paper bag. It doesn't really matter what's on the outside because we're going to draw it on the inside. So I'm going to find the seam on the outside, and here's the seam. I'm just going to split it at the seam. Okay, so I've split it at the seam. It doesn't have to be a super neat job. And then I'm going to cut the bottom off of the bag. Okay, so I have the bottom cut off of the bag. And I should have now one large piece of brown paper that I can lay out flat. Make kind of a panorama with it. Okay, so what I've done now is I've taken my flattened out piece of brown paper and crumpled it up into a ball and flattened it out, and I did that a couple times just to get rid of those obvious folds that are in the bag and to kind of rough up my drawing surface. And we're kind of, and you can flatten it out as much as you want or need to. If you want it a little bit flatter, you can either tape it down or you can press it under something heavy for an hour or two. But this is going to kind of simulate drawing on a rough or rocky surface. So once you have your drawing surface prepared, you can take your Conte crayons, and if yours are brand new, you're going to find that they might not draw as well as you expect them to. So sometimes you kind of have to just rub off the sharp corners and start rounding them out a little bit before they will draw as expected. And then you get to work. So what we're going to draw, I mean, a lot of people, drawing stick animals and stick people is not that difficult. But it's a little bit more involved than that. I want you to think about not just, the shape of the animals that you're drawing, but I want you to kind of get a sense of rhythm and kind of accomplish that repetition and the rhythm and even the sense of anatomy that a lot of these cave artists accomplished, giving, even if it wasn't totally anatomically accurate, they weren't just stick drawings either. Give this horse kind of a tiny head, thick neck, kind of a big belly. They really accomplished well that sense of objects moving across the surface of the wall. And I don't want you to copy exactly from the photo reference. Just use it to get a sense of, you know, kind of what the drawings looked like. And then give it your own pizzazz. I'm going to switch to a different color for coloring the body. And the Conte will kind of pick up the texture from the bag. And that's another reason why it's important not to start with a Conte that has rounded edges, because you don't want to tear holes in your paper bag. You can blend some darker values in with those colors. And if you look on your references, you'll probably see that a lot of them did include some shading and some shifts in color. So they weren't just strictly line drawings, you know, in the simplest sense of the word. Another thing you want to do is try to get a sense of the kind of the overlapping nature and layered nature of the cave drawings. With drawings done over top of other drawings. It'll give it a real sense of age and culture. Things having been there for a long time. And if you want, the nice thing about drawing on brown paper is that it allows you to use white as an actual color, if you so desire. I'm just going to put a little bit of white in here as kind of an accent. And then I'll move on to the next drawing.
엔도 어떤다 엔도 흔다 엔도 어떤다 이 어떤 듯이 어떤 듯 어떤 듯 어떤다 이 어떤 듯이 어떤 듯이 어떤 듯 어떤다
So when you finish your cave drawing, you'll have something that should be completely different from mine, of course, but it should take up roughly the entire piece of brown paper. And so you want to use up your space effectively. You don't have to fill every square inch, but you want your composition to fill the space that you have. After that, the last step is to photograph it. Take a high resolution digital photograph of it, and you'll have to either stand on a chair or lay it on the floor or tape it to a wall in order to get back far enough so that you can get the whole thing into one picture. But I would like to see the entire image in one picture. And that's all you need. So happy drawing!